folks. Welcome to EDU 300. This video will be a tour of the Blackboard site and a discussion of what's in the syllabus and helping you to navigate this and understand how the course is going to work. So when you log into Blackboard, you will land on the announcements page. This is the landing page. This is where you'll always come. And the announcements page is reserved for announcements about special things in class that are not included in the syllabus, and announcements about professional development opportunities or informational tidbits that I want you to have. If you look to the left, the menu here is quite easy to navigate, and I've tried to keep it as small as possible. About this course site, if we click on here, this will take you to a site or a page that gives you some information about this particular course in the course menu. Gives you information about some of the tabs. I don't use all of these tabs, but they're here anyway for you to look at. Make sure you're using Firefox. Okay, there are when I have students email me about problems with Blackboard, it's almost always the fact they're using the wrong browser. You might get away with Internet Explorer or Safari or even Chrome for a little while, but you're going to have some problems. So download Firefox so that you can actually work properly with this. Here are some resources for students new to Blackboard. If you click on this, it'll take you to the University College site where it does help you to orient yourself to Blackboard. I think most of you are veterans to Blackboard anyway at this point. I'm going to skip the syllabus for a second. Instructor information, this is about me and where you can find me and my phone number. And this internet is taking forever today. The UMA teacher preparation webpage is linked here. My official office hours are Tuesday and Thursday, 11 to 2, but I'm happy to make appointments at other times if I'm available. My office phone number is here, 621-3192, and my cell phone is available to you if you need to get me where you really need to get a hold of me right away. Okay. Okay, so course content is where you're going to get the meat of the course. And when I click on here, I'm going to take you to student mode so that you can see what it looks like when you look at it. So all you're going to see is the first week's module. Okay, I will make modules available by 9 o'clock on Tuesday for each week. So when you click on this folder, this will open it up and you will get what you need to attend to for this week. And remember, this course meets on Tuesdays. Okay. I had emailed all of you with a link to a Google form on a pre-test, and some of you have completed that. Thank you very much. It's been most helpful. If you have not completed it, please do so before you continue with this module. It's not graded. It's an assessment for learning to help me understand better where you are in your knowledge of research methodology. This welcome that I'm recording right now will be posted here for you. I'd like you to introduce yourself. This is linked, and whenever you roll over and you see it's underlined, it means it's linked. I'd like you to go to the discussion forum and introduce yourself to me and your peers. And when you get here, you'll see that I've given you some possibilities for how to introduce yourself. Okay, and there they are. When we click on this, you'll see that I've already introduced myself to you. And you can open this and read what I say about myself. Most of you know me already, and you've probably read this introduction several times, but here it is again, okay? I wish the internet wasn't so slow. Taking a while. We'll give it a second. Okay, there it is. Okay. I'm going to go back to course content, or I'm actually going to just click the back key. And I apologize for the slowness of the internet at this point. I'm not understanding quite why it's doing that, but anyway, it is. Actually, I'm just going to go here because it'll save me a couple of steps and reopen the folder. Okay, and then I've also given you here a review of Chapter 1. Here's a PowerPoint, and this is a narration and expansion of that PowerPoint. When you click on this image, it takes you to YouTube, where you can watch the video. Okay, and it'll buffer for a second and come up, but I'm not going to wait for it. Okay, there it is. All right. You may want to print out the PowerPoint to take some notes on. This one's not a very long one. And then here's another PowerPoint for Introduction to Qualitative Research. And I don't know why the image isn't appearing right at the moment. It probably has to do with the snail-like pace of the internet right now. But there'll be a thumbnail sketch like this one. You click on it and it'll take you to YouTube as well. This one's about 30 minutes long, so make sure you allow enough time to look at it. Again, you may want to print out that PowerPoint and take notes. I've provided extension on what I have in the PowerPoint. I want you to go to a full group discussion, okay? It's linked above, to discuss Chapter 1 and that first section of Chapter 3, as well as the module presented in the information presented in this module. Some things to consider. That's not exhaustive. You may consider other things, but what are the purposes of action research? How is this different from the kind of research you might have completed in the past? Which of the theoretical frames interest you, puzzle you, make you think? Which of the design styles make sense to you, do not make sense, puzzle you, make you think? Do you already know what you want to investigate? Are you still thinking? And anything else that comes to mind. The term theoretical frames and design styles will become clear to you after you've viewed the PowerPoints. And then I want you to be keeping a research journal. I have a little video chat that's still buffering that I'm going to post here. That's actually me talking to you face-to-face, virtually, about keeping your research journal. I had originally wanted you to keep it as a Google folder, but I'm really sort of vacillating on that. I kept a hard copy journal for a lot of my research, and in the video I talk more about that. So watch the video and then we'll discuss how you might want to keep your journal. And then you have assignments for next week are to read Chapter 2, 4, and 9 and record your notes and thoughts in your research journal. And once you watch the little video chat here, you'll be able to understand better what I'm asking for here. All right, so that's course content. The discussion groups, okay, I'm going to go back here and click on this. So this takes you to the full group discussion. We were just there to look at introductions. We'll go back to look at this particular discussion. You don't have too many full group discussions in this class, okay? You have two, one this week and one next week. Discussions after that will be in groups, okay? So I'll be putting you into 3 groups of 3 and 4, depending on if we keep the 10 or how many we end up with, where you'll be working exclusively with 2 to 3 other people to investigate other aspects of this course. I haven't gotten the groups, of course, populated yet because I always wait till after the first week for add drop to end so I know how many students I need to put in which ones, and so groups don't get left with just 1 or 2 people. I don't use the Learning Resources button here except to link you to the library. I'm going to be asking the library to assist us when we get to the literature search with some tutorials and maybe a guest appearance. But you'll be using the library extensively. Do make sure you have a library card. Using the internet will not be suitable for this course. It doesn't mean you have to go to the library because you can use the online databases, but I do want you to have a library card so you can access those databases. If you're unclear about how to get a library card, if you go to the library webpage, I'm right here, it'll assist you in doing that. It is your student ID. So if you don't have a student ID, you're going to have to get one of those because that student ID number acts also as your library card, but you have to activate it. And then technical and Blackboard support here is just if you run into issues, some of the information about this course site is duplicated here, but this will give you some numbers to call if you have IT issues. There's the number, there's the email. Here's where you can download Firefox, resources again, and Blackboard help from Blackboard Company if you want to get into the weeds on Blackboard. I don't always recommend this. It's really hard to navigate. All right, so I'm going to go back to the syllabus now because I want to go over that with you. All right, so here are all the usual suspects. Here's the course description, the course text. All of you have this by now, I hope. How to contact me, expectations for online courses, This course is a hybrid course, so part of it's on Blackboard and part of it is in person. The course meets on Tuesdays, both virtually and online. Okay, there are 14 weeks for this course, so each folder is associated with one of those weeks. Time expectations: please dedicate plenty of time to your work. At the beginning, there's a little less time needed because I'm asking you to do a lot of thinking, but when we begin the research, you're going to have to be devoting a fair amount of time each week, so make sure you can do that. Expectations for discussion forums are critical. It's important that you work in those online and Adobe Connect discussions. They count as 10% of your grade. So that's both virtual discussions online as well as our virtual face-to-face discussions that we'll have 5 times during this semester. Other assignments, 5 points deducted if you're late on something. What you can expect from me: I use rubrics to score assignments, and I'll be putting those rubrics up as we move along. They're not there yet. I use multiple modalities to communicate with you, such as this little audio podcast I'm doing. You do need to have access to audio and video capabilities for this course. This is critical for accessing online resources: Blackboard, Adobe Connect, video presentations, embedded videos, Google Hangouts, and so forth and so on. Incomplete policy is here. Read that carefully. In academic integrity, I know you all know about this, but if you have any questions, let me know. If you need accommodations, you need to be talking with Learning Support Services. Title IX statement, I want to clarify this, that UMA is committed to providing an environment free of violence and harassment. As an employee of UMA, I am required to report any Title IX offenses to this office. Okay, so in other words, if you confide in me, I can't keep that. I can't promise confidentiality. If it's something to do with sexual harassment, I have to report that, okay? Or sexual assault, even if it was a long time ago. I am obligated as a mandatory reporter to report that, okay? Just be aware of that. I don't see any issues with this in this course, but in some courses there could be some issues with that. All right. Writing resources: you're going to be writing a rich, deep research report. I want you to make use of Writing Center services. If you're in the Augusta area, you can use the Augusta Writing Center. If you're in the Bangor area, you can use the Bangor Writing Center. If you're at a distance, you can use Vault, which is an online writing support lab. Learning outcomes here: you'll become literate in the basic concept, principles, and techniques of action research. You'll apply the appropriate techniques of analysis to specific research problems, design procedures for collecting different forms of data, interpret collected data for utility and validity, produce and present research findings, and understand the role that teacher research has in professional development and improving schools. And we are addressing one main teacher standard, which is professional learning and ethical practice. And this is that you're engaging in ongoing professional learning and using evidence to evaluate practice, okay? So that's really what action research is all about. Your assignments: you're going to keep a research journal. That's 20% of your grade. I'm going to have you do a critical evaluation of a current research report. That's 20%. We'll talk about that in week 2 and 3. That's to give you some practice in looking at something with a critical eye. You're going to be writing up an action plan proposal for your research project that will indicate the question and issue and outline how you're going to go about collecting the data. The actual paper will be worth half of your grade. The final paper will be an 8 to 10 page paper comprised of an introduction that states your research question and your reasons for pursuing the project, a literature review of at least 5 sources, and these will have to be all peer-reviewed sources from academic databases. A section that outlines your research methodology, in other words, what did you do, what was your sample, and how did you collect data. Then your analysis of the collected data, what you did and how you will use it, as well as implications. Okay. Rating scale is the same as I've always used. Here it is. Course outline: again, this is the thumbnail sketch of what's happening during this semester. Week 1, again, that's all up on Blackboard in a much more fleshed out version. You can look ahead to the following weeks. Now, the weeks that we meet by Adobe Connect will be week 3, okay? So that's the day you have to mark on your calendar at 4 p.m. You need to be at your computer in a place where you will not be disturbed and there will not be background noise to participate in a full class meeting with your peers and I. Okay. Then we go back to online work, where you're going to be doing some group work and you're going to be submitting some things for feedback. And then September 29th is our second face-to-face virtual meeting. So you'll need to mark that on your calendar to be there at 4 o'clock for this meeting. And then we go back to online. Okay, you'll notice that I'm giving you some weeks where I'm not giving you a lot of work to do. Your work will be, your research. Now, I don't need to give you a whole bunch of other stuff to do because once you're deep into the research, you're going to need the time to do that. So week 6 and then the Columbus Day week is going to give you a full 2 weeks to be working on your research, and you need to use those weeks. You can't let this go to the end because you can't rush it. Okay. And then October 20th, we'll be back week 7 on our Adobe Connect, which will be again at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday. So mark that on your calendar as well. October 27th, we'll be back online, where you'll be working together and learning. We'll have some more things to be learning about. November 3rd is online. November 10th is online. November 17th, we'll be back together again, 4 o'clock on Tuesday. 24th is online. The 1st is online. The 8th, there will be no class. This will be a week for you to work. This is the week before we will get together and you will present your research. So your paper will be finished. You'll have a short presentation to give to your peers when we meet at Adobe Connect on December 15th. Okay? So that's a rough sketch of the syllabus. All right, I'm going to go back now to announcements. So that's it for the Blackboard tour and the syllabus. Please make sure you mark those Adobe Connect meetings on your calendar. And I'm still learning Adobe Connect. I know Google Hangout really well. We may use Google Hangout if Adobe Connect gives me some problems. I would rather use it because I think it's a little more reliable in terms of using broadband. But nonetheless, we will be meeting virtually, not in person. Okay, we will not be on campus, even though there's a room designated for us. We are going to use virtual platforms to meet together 5 times during the semester. If, as a group, we decide we would like to meet together more than that, and it works for everybody, we can certainly do that. I am open to more virtual face-to-face meetings. But I want to be respectful of people's time. I realize that people have other lives and they may not be able to squeeze out more time than the 5 I've asked for. So with that, I'm done, and I'm looking forward to working with you this semester.